starting. I think we're live now. All right, so we'll do this. We don't have any of the fun intro music because Ben's not here, but we'll make him do everything in post. All right. Welcome to another edition of Incredible Critics. Incredible not because we're great, but because our credibility should seriously be in question. I'm your host today, Frankie Fusco. Joining me is Timothy Gruber.
Yo, 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 yo.
And special guest, Lucas Bell. What's going on, Luke?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, thanks for coming back, man. I appreciate it. Ben is away. I don't know where he is. My guess is binge watching a bunch of movies in foreign languages, or with really horrible budgets. That would be one of my two guesses. Do you have any idea where he is, Tim?
He's actually at a single massage.
Oh,
yeah, just for one person.
That's messed up.
So I'm not bitter or anything.
No, I'm not even bring it up again. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Anything new? Tim, why don't you go first? What's new with you?
Sure. Not a lot. Not a lot is new. Just wondering why the weather is cold and then warm and then cold and then really hot and then cold again. And
I think we're all going through that. I saw someone had a meme on Facebook yesterday. It was like RIP spring, April 13th, 2018 through April 14th, 2018.
Yeah, right.
It's been rough here in New York too, man. And this is my last week in New York, which is really exciting. I get to move back home.
Great.
booyah.
I'll be working at it in Philly, so life will be a lot better instead of just traveling home on the weekends, which has been kind of rough.
Yeah, rough for your dog.
Yeah. Well, my dog's with me right now, but yeah, he kind of has a broken home. He doesn't know where he lives. What's up with Luke, man? How's it going? What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I'm just working and graduating with my master's in 3 weeks. So
that's awesome. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Master's in what?
In software engineering. So I don't actually know anything about software engineering, but I trick people into thinking I do. So,
that's how college works.
Let me get this far. So
I took all the same classes as Ben, and he knows way more than me about a lot of stuff.
About everything.
Well, yes, him definitely about everything. All right, well, let's move on to our first section that we like to call What's On? Ben, can you cue the horrible music? So, you guys been watching anything new this week? Luke, what have you been watching?
Oh yeah, this has been a big week for me. So the season premiere of the final season of New Girl was this past Tuesday. I'm looking forward to episode 2 coming out tomorrow. So just everything is still spot on. I was worried that with the final season, it would be like, I enjoyed The Office all the way through, but it definitely changed. It had a different dynamic come the last couple of seasons for sure, especially after Michael Scott left. I was scared that with time that the dynamics in New Girl would change, but with the season premiere, they did a little time skip, and it's spot on. They did such a good job. It's just as happy and fulfilling and fun as it's ever been. So I'm loving every aspect of it. So other than that, I've been watching Last Man on Earth.
I watched like the first maybe 5 episodes of that show, and then never got into it, mostly because the main character
it's terrible.
So awkward.
He is.
Like, he makes me feel awkward, and I don't want to watch him. Like, he does like the dumbest things where I'm like, oh my god, you're an idiot, and I can't watch you. Like, it makes me like upset.
It hurts, but if not to bring up The Office twice in a row, and
you can never bring up The Office too much.
That's true.
If you go back and you rewatch The Office, Michael Scott hurts to watch.
He does. He is hard to watch. Yeah, in the early seasons. Yeah. I'm one of the few people who Scott's Tots is not one of my favorite episodes. episodes because it upsets me every time I watch it. I get like, I don't know what the word. I get like all like sad and angry and happy, and I'm like, this is, I don't like.
Oh
it.
no, it's very. It just hurts. You know, it's going to just crash and burn from the beginning, and it does.
Oh, so bad. What about you, Tim? Stargate.
Stargate all day, every day.
All right. So how about you just update us instead of saying Stargate every week? Where are you in the Stargate?
We're on season 6 of Stargate.
What's going on right now in the Stargate?
Well, the Stargate has just continued to open up to new worlds and new possibilities, Frankie. And
season 3.
Yep, and they got to a planet where 20% of the people were hardcore addicted to an alien drug. That's the one we just watched.
That's awesome. Crazy. What season does Atlantis kick in?
Maybe. So we're on season 6. So I think season 7.
Okay.
I think there's like a few years that overlap.
Atlantis is the only Stargate I've ever watched, besides the Universe, which only had like 2 seasons. But
so 2 whole series of Stargate.
Yep, 2 of them.
I've never watched Stargate. Do they overlap?
Love it.
I like most things, so it's is it like Star Trek in that it's like different generations of people interacting?
So the premise of the movie, so going back to the movie, the original Stargate movie from, what was it, 1998 or something?
No, wasn't it the early 90s?
No, I think it was later in the 90s.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Whatever. The premise of the movie was Kurt Russell leading a military through this ancient device that that Red from Blacklist helped decipher. This is all the guys that are in this movie.
All right.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. But
the movie was great. 1994, by the way. I was right. Booyah.
94. Well, yeah.
That's mid. I give it to both of you.
90s. Yeah, let's compromise. So anyways, they go through this ancient device that was dug up in Egypt to discover that Daniel Jackson's theories were true and there were ancient aliens.
Oh!
And ancient aliens would disguise themselves as gods in mythological culture. So the movie, they blow up Ra and go back to Earth, and Daniel lives with the people. So the series actually is actually a direct sequel to the movie, except instead of Kurt Russell, they got Richard Dean Anderson from MacGyver.
All right, okay, I have to give this a watch.
Yeah, and instead of Red, I can never remember his name. Instead of Ultron, I can't remember his name. James Spader. Instead of James Spader, they got Michael Shanks, which pretty much wasn't unknown then, but he's been in tons of other sci-fi stuff since then. He was Hawkman in Smallville.
Oh.
So there's that.
Okay.
Because they actually filmed Smallville and Stargate like next door to each other. The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah, Luke, you'd really enjoy it. So essentially, like every episode, they like travel through the Stargate, which are basically just like wormholes.
Different wormholes. Yes, it's a wormhole to just one place. Yeah.
Yeah, one place in the galaxy.
So, so like different planets. Most of them are forested planets from Vancouver. You know, I don't know. And
most lands of Vancouver.
Yeah, right. But no, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun sci-fi because it's more real people going against sci-fi kind of stuff. Okay. And there's a lot of fun meta stuff as the seasons continue to progress. It's also a funny show, and there's some good Star Trek and Star Wars jokes in there.
All right.
Always mixed in. There's a healthy amount of sci-fi jokes for nerds like us.
And then eventually they branch off and do another like a spin-off called Stargate Atlantis, which is the one that I watched, which is awesome.
Where they're in another galaxy and they're kind of stuck there in the city of Atlantis, which is an alien city from the future, from the past.
Ship. So it's really weird, but it's a really awesome show, and then they all kind of tie together. Stargate has like 10 seasons, I think, right?
Yeah, it was
So-
when it aired. It was the longest running sci-fi show ever.
Atlantis, I think, had 6 seasons.
Yeah, they had 5, and then Universe had 2, and then yeah, there was just a huge fan campaign to do a 4th in canon series instead of MGM rebooting it, because they've actually been talking about rebooting it all as a trilogy of movies. So the fans are all behind it, but then MGM just had a big shakeup, evidently, in their leadership. So who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows?
They I have not been watching anything, but I told you and Ben already, Tim, but I'll share with Luke. I actually just finished the audiobook for Ready Player One, which was we talked about the movie last week, I think.
Yeah.
And the movie was great, but now after listening to the audiobook and getting the real story, it's like my mind was blown. The book was so good, and it's
really crazy. And the audiobook is read by Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton is great, because they even talk about Will Wheaton in the book, which I think is hilarious. So where he's talking about himself, but the audiobook is amazing, and the book's just so much different than the movie, which I'm surprised that you guys like. They take like the outline of the movie, the outline of the book, and make a movie.
They kind of make right off the outline, which is very vague. If they use a very vague outline. Right. No, I think one thing that I don't think we pointed out last week, is that in the book there's a line in near the very beginning where Wade Watts is like, I'm writing this to set the record straight, because you've probably read books about me and seen.
Hey, Brittany.
That's my wife. Brittany, now you're on the podcast. No, he's not over here. He says, you've read books about me, you've seen TV shows and movies about my life, but I want to set the record straight. And it kind of, to me, feels like the movie is like an in-canon movie about Wade Watts.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That would make sense.
The canon of the book.
That would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, but
anyway, I strongly recommend anybody go see it. I downloaded it for free from Audible, because they gave you like a free 1 month subscription, and you get a free book credit. So I just downloaded that. It was 1 credit, so it was awesome. It takes about, I think, like 15 hours or something like that, something ridiculous. But I've been doing so much driving that it was perfect. Over the course of like 2 weekends, I got it all done. All right, let's get on to our main topic. So guys, Ben's not here. So we're not going to talk about any boring movies or, Christopher Nolan, or anything like that. Instead, we're going to talk about Marvel, because Infinity War is 10 years in the making, and it is 2 weeks away.
It's almost here.
Oh my goodness.
So excited.
It's next week. It's next week.
It's next week? It's 27th.
Next
21st. Oh, that is next week. Oh my
next
gosh.
week.
It's next week.
Wait,
That's next
I'm
week.
even more excited. It is. All I want is a bedazzled glove, and
Bedazzled. Look. I'm going in with a mustard yellow leather glove that would fit my wife's hand. There's jewels all over it. It's gonna be great.
How excited are you guys?
I'm insanely excited. I want to be surprised. I think that's what my biggest thing is, and I think if they're going to surprise you, it's going to be in this movie. So everybody's expecting. I mean, they gave it to us in the trailers. There's going to be a lot of characters. Yeah. I want something that I'm not expecting. I'm expecting big, epic, everybody that we've seen every movie.
Oh yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson's going to show up and say some cool lines, and every sub character, but I want someone you're not expecting. So I want some reveals that you're not. It's like what Spider-Man really should have been in Civil War, where they showed him in the trailer, but how exciting it was to finally see Spider-Man. I want that, but I don't want to be part of any trailer. I want Wolverine or who knows, Silver Surfer to show up. Something wild, not the terrible Silver Surfer, the cool one.
Silver Surfer. They are keeping a lot of things secret. They just revealed that we're not going to know the name of the 4th Avengers movie that comes out in May of 2019. because the title will have some kind of spoiler in it. And
Uh,
apparently, it's not. I was originally always on the idea that it was the same movie, just cut in half.
Yeah.
You know, being like a 4-hour or 6-hour epic.
That was their plan, but they
Yeah,
like,
now they're
about
saying it's like a standalone type movie.
it's still
Yeah.
really long.
Yeah,
It's still going to
it's-
be the longest Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Really?
they in an
Yes.
interview I just read with the Russo brothers, they were saying that it's like Marvel's been writing a book for the last 10 years, and this is the movie where the book ends, and the next movie where a new one begins. So it's like
I gotta kill
everything-
someone.
Oh, dude, people are dying.
Everybody's
People are
gonna
definitely
die.
dying. I think
Yeah.
Captain America and Iron Man are both done.
Mm.
I want it to happen, and they kind of made both of those characters after Civil War. It's like they're on this beautiful tragedy
Yeah.
story arc. I want it to happen. It has to happen.
You want them to die? If you
I
could,
want them to die in like the way that I wanted someone to die when in episode 7. It's like it's gonna hurt, but it has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling that. I think I mean they've been pretty specific about well, Chris Evans has been saying all kinds of stuff that like he's out, his contract is up, and
That's true.
I think I'm
And-
ready for Bucky Cap. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. And Captain America dies right after Civil War in the comics, at least
So-
for a while.
Luke, have you read any of the, like, I know it's not, there's no such thing as an Infinity War comic, right? I think it's just
believe
like,
there is an Infinity War comic. I haven't read any of it myself. I'm
There is.
there is.
yeah,
okay.
there is.
Hold on, I have to let the dog out.
No problem. You can go away. Me and Luke will keep talking.
Okay.
So like
So-
I know there's so there is an Infinity War comic. I know there's Thanos. I think it's called Thanos something now. I don't think it's called like Thanos is.
Yeah,
Uh,
the names of these mini series of comics, such as Civil War and Infinity War. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a Secret Wars or a
Right.
there's a handful of different Secret Invasion. I heard rumors about being in Generation 2 of Marvel, which is where impersonator aliens called the Skrulls over time have taken place of a lot of different superheroes, and the superheroes don't even realize it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Um,
I was gonna say that was my only question. Thanos is like the baddest bad guy in the Marvel universe, correct? So like,
He's so bad,
who?
bro.
What's next? Like, who's after? Like, once this saga's over, like, who's the?
who's the
I
big
mean,
bad guy?
potentially still Thanos. I mean, I don't know.
Thanos never really way. They could go with the Galactus, even though
They
you have
could.
to, you have to
They might
fight
have
off the
to.
fan. Yeah,
By
'cause
then,
Galactus
right?
it has to by then. I
Yeah.
mean, well, they have Galactus now after buying out 21st Century Fox.
Yeah,
or
right,
20th
right.
Century Fox. Yeah, so they could go with Galactus.
So yeah, so what I was gonna say was there's the Infinity Gauntlet series that was written by Jim Starlin, I think, and that's gonna be the closest thing we have, I think, to this as far as the books go, and that like collected volume of that is on sale like every other month on Comixology or on the Marvel on Amazon, basically,
Yeah.
which is the same. But yeah, a lot of people died in that one, and I'm pretty sure halfway through, pretty much almost everybody dies, and then they kind of have to pull together the last few stones and like a bunch of B-list and C-list and D-list superheroes to
See,
like
I'm up for that.
yeah, I'd be so down for that. Yeah, I'm with you about like, man, let's surprise me. I'm ready. I'm ready to
Do
just bring somebody out in the last like
Yeah.
half hour of the movie where we're all like, what is happening?
What is going on?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it would be really sweet to see Wolverine. I know that Hugh Jackman said he's done with the role, but like even as like a
I
quick
heard
cameo-
rumors. I don't know if it was just rumors. It may have just been rumors, but I heard rumors that about him on set. Who knows? But is he going to be able to make the difference? Thanos, though, that's the thing. Is Wolverine's great, but I feel like you need a team. You need something big. You need not just one guy.
Like four, maybe four guys.
like fantastic.
Yeah,
Four guys?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like four fantastic guys.
So
Would they even
yeah,
dare?
so there has been other rumors too since the last Fantastic Four mess that that they were doing a deal behind closed doors that included some fantastic heroes, and then this whole public thing came out with Fox, but they're saying we're not going to see we're not going to see mutants in MCU movies for years,
For a while.
basically. Yeah. Part of it is because legally the deal isn't completely done. They think it might be done by next summer. But if that's the launch of phase 5 or whatever,
whatever
phase 4, part 2, whatever, you know.
Generation 2, I guess.
Yeah, right. If that's the launch, I mean, again, it took them 10 years to get through this whole, Gen 1 of the MCU. So it could be like a big Galactus thing up at the end. It could be there are tons of other huge villains. Thanos does keep coming back. I mean, he always wants to murder people. So
he does. It's true. I mean, they could go for Red Skull. He's been quiet for a while, but what I wanted to mention was the you hit a good point on the Fantastic Four. What was interesting, I like to follow the pettiness that has been going between Marvel and Fox, or I guess it would be Disney and Fox. When that last horrendous Fantastic Four movie came out, Disney actually ended the Fantastic Four comic book series just out of spite, so they would not cross promote. And they've actually just started. They either relaunched it or about to relaunch the.
It's about to start. Yeah, so they're
so maybe that's a little nod.
Yes. I mean, they officially announced it's coming, that the Fantastic Four is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So right now they only have a book that has like Johnny and Ben Grimm in it, because Reed Richards and Sue Richards are like gone in the multiverse.
Okay.
So, but they announced, like, despite like, okay, maybe they're gonna find them, we don't know. They were like, all right, we're definitely gonna find them. So that book isn't over yet. But that's a fun one. That's like the old Marvel 2-in-1, I think is what they're calling it. But who knows? I mean, if they're ramping up, like you said, if they're ramping up the comics again, because it's been if you guys, anybody listening out there, if you just Google the like Fantastic Four, beyond the mess of just the movie, the last movie, Marvel and Fox have been real mean at each other over this stuff, like crazy mean. So, man, it surprised me with that. I'd be pumped.
Now, do you think they're going to bring the Defenders into Infinity War? Because I know they're same universe, but they're so.
I hope so. I hope so, but I almost think it would be like seeing them in New York City in like one shot.
True, just a little cameo.
I think that would be enough. Just one cameo of them fighting some random person on the streets of New York, and then they can say that happens before the next Defenders series. That's like all 4 of them or whatever. I mean, they could. Yeah. I don't know. They could do pretty much whatever. But I mean, those are ongoing with Netflix for forever, basically. Forever. If they, because they're all pretty good still. So that would be sick, though. That would be. But one concern is that the production quality, it would almost be like when you saw
the original Power Rangers go into a movie. They got like totally glossy. It took away.
Right.
While that was great for the original Power Rangers, I feel like that would ruin a little bit of Luke Cage and a little bit of Jessica Jones if suddenly they're in these super suits and it's all done up real fancy, you know, in like shiny armor and such. I feel like that would take away a little bit of their charm.
Yeah, right. I know for a while they were saying that it was just kind of impossible to get everybody on the same page as far as having those guys come on there. Something we do know is that we will be seeing Agent Coulson in the Captain Marvel movie.
Okay.
Now, there's at least a whole chunk of that movie takes place in the past, like in the not 80s or 90s or something.
With that being said, have you read any of the Captain Marvel comic books, or do you know much about? Because I don't really know anything about her backstory.
Yeah, I've read a bunch of her stuff. She basically gets her powers from the Kree. So the blue alien dudes like Ronan the Accuser from Guardians. He's one of the Kree. They've been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot.
Yeah, the Kree have.
The Kree have. That's how, spoiler alert, that's how Agent Coulson stayed alive after dying.
Oh.
In case you haven't watched the first couple episodes of...
Yeah, right.
Nope.
But no, the Kree have actually been in the current season of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. So
I haven't watched this season, but...
So we know the Kree are going to be there, and potentially what we were already talking about, the Skrulls, if they're introduced in Captain Marvel, Secret Invasion could be crazy because we could go 10. Yeah, exactly. We go 10 more years and then find out somebody wasn't dead. It was a Skrull the whole time.
Yep.
Or, you know, like Robert Downey could come back as like old man Stark and in 10 years.
True.
And be like, I've been in prison on a alien spaceship.
It's also a great chance to switch costumes. So
right.
Alternate costumes.
So that could be pretty awesome though. There's definitely a bright future for the MCU going forward from this. And man, I feel like after next week, like we're just gonna all be like, what is happening now? I feel like it's gonna really pull the rug out.
It's gonna leave us on a giant cliffhanger.
I'm hoping it doesn't leave you on a crazy cliffhanger for next year.
Well, if they're saying it's going to be a separate movie, like it's a kind of a standalone film, then I'm guessing it has to wrap up at the end of it. But it's going to leave you in.
Yeah, they ultimately want to wrap up. 10 years of the MCU, and that's the goal with this movie. So I think it will, but I think it's going to in that way of it wrapping up a bunch of loose ends and a bunch of characters. I think we're also going to get this new paradigm where we're all going out of the movie like, okay, if this person is here and this person is there, and now what? Like, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be nuts. Either way, we're all going to see it. They're going to get all of our money. Everyone's going to see it. It's going to break all the records. Real quick before we go, I'm curious. I want you tell me who you think is going to die, because I think we're all going to the conclusion someone's going to die in this movie. And 2, what special cameo do you think is going to happen that no one knows about yet? So, Luke, go first.
Okay. So, I think that one of the key 3, Thor, Iron Man, or Captain America. Now, Captain America has been a little outspoken about not coming back. And I feel like everybody's expecting Captain America to die because he had such a famous death in the comics. So I'm going to say Iron Man. I think Iron Man's going to die. And I think because he's the original movie. So him dying puts the bow around every one of these movies. And so that's who I think, at the very least. Now, there may be multiple.
Right, but that's who you think at least.
Definitely think Iron Man's going to die. The surprise cameo, man, it could really be anyone. I want something weird like Sentry or Moon Knight. but
or Nova.
Or Nova. I want John C. Reilly to be Nova. But I'm trying to think what could be the best. Deadpool. If they could have gotten Deadpool in there, I would lose my mind. I think that would be a phenomenal, just breaking of, I don't even know if that's fourth wall or what that is, just dimensional travel. But I think we're going to see something from Fox. I think we're going to see something from the X-Men, Fantastic Four, something from those Fox licenses, because we're expecting anything from that Marvel holds. There's not really, there won't be a She-Hulk. There won't be, so I'm expecting something from Fox.
All right. What about you, Tim?
I mean, my money is on like you said, those big three are really like the top guys that are pegged. Someone's gonna die. Yeah, I'll go with the obvious Captain America. I think they're in a place where any number of people just in the MCU can take the mantle of Captain America. Technically, Steve Rogers isn't Captain America anymore to begin with. He's Nomad or whatever, but he's stripped his whole uniform of anything that says America on it. And so, but I'm thinking Rogers is out, and I would be surprised if Thor died without getting a big movie death of his own, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a Ragnarok style, really big something. But I think what they did in Ragnarok sets up a pretty good place that if Thor died in this movie, I think they have a place for a new Asgard here on Earth, off the shores of Norway or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that kind of seemed what they were leaning towards when they with the end of that movie. I'm gonna go ahead. I think we're all saying goodbye to Cap. I think Cap's definitely done, and I really hope that Iron Man goes too. Both characters kind of can be replaced. And I think my cameo, I'm gonna step out there. I think quick cameo, but it's gonna happen. Venom. So we'll see. We'll see, because the movie, the movie coming out, I think there might be a quick, and I think the movie is going to take place before the Avengers anyway.
I thought the movie wasn't tied in. I thought it wasn't part of the MCU.
It is. Spider-Man's going to be in it. So.
Oh, really?
They're saying Spider-Man. It's that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to make a cameo.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, Kevin Feige has said a lot of times it's not an MCU movie.
Yeah, I don't believe anything they say.
That would be blow it out of the water surprise. I think.
I think it would be. So we'll take it out there.
I'm still wagering on a fantastic cameo from.
I think that's more likely. I just didn't want to say that since everybody.
Well, I'm saying it. I'm just gonna say it. I think if any of the things right now, the X-Men they do fine on their own, and so I think Marvel's fine to let them be on their own until all the stuff, all the deals happen officially. And Fantastic Four is not fine.
No, I think they're both going to agree. Maybe
although I'm excited for that fantastic sequel coming out to The Incredibles this summer.
Yes. I mean, Incredibles 2? It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be phenomenal.
It only took 20-something years.
20 years.
Listen, there's a lot of people, though, who call that the best Fantastic Four movie.
It was the best Fantastic Four movie.
Because,
didn't even think of that.
So that could be good.
Guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Everyone, thank you for listening. You guys can find us on Facebook. Hit the like button. You'll get all of our updates and our polls. Facebook.com/IncredibleCritics. You can follow us on Twitter at 3CriticsPod. And don't forget to go on to iTunes. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Give us a rating. That really helps us get out there to other people. Guys, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Music.
Music.
Okay, guys. So what do you guys, since we're still recording, even though we're done, what do you guys think of the last Han Solo trailer?
I think this movie's going to be so bad.
See,
and I don't want it to be because I love Emilia Clarke and I love
Han Solo. More importantly,
not Han Solo.
What do you
no,
know?
you love
Character of
actually
Han
Han Solo and Chewbacca
Well,
more than Emilia Clarke.
but I also love Donald Glover, and I think he's going to be.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the best part about that movie.
I was kind of worried though in the last trailer about Lando.
I don't know, man.
He was like,
they did
"You've
ruin it,
heard
but-
words about me. They're the same. I got a nephew in the Bronx."
But with all the
That's pretty true.
with all the reshoots and the acting coaches that they brought in, like
I know there was a lot of mess, and
it's just not looking great.
Anytime
And
that
after-
happens, like you had that happen with most of the DC movies that came out.
I know that's all I keep thinking about is all the reshoots on
Yeah.
DC movies, and I'm just like not. And after Last
No.
Jedi, like it just kind of feels like each movie to me gets more and more
Weird.
What's the word?
Weird.
No, there's a word.
Weird.
It's used in like Batman and Robin. They used it for like Batman and Robin, like toy centric or something like that. Like basically when they start just letting toy companies
Yeah. Well, that's
Get-
what Star Wars has
give
been
input in the movies. You know,
from day one, bro.
Yeah, that's
not since day one.
yeah,
Especially
No,
these new
it's pretty
movies,
much
like-
day one.
Yeah, no, that was George Lucas got his funding from most of the studios by making deals where he's really the box office money. I get the toy revenue, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And he made all his money on
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's gonna be. I'm not looking. Here's the thing. I'm hoping like with Rampage, right? I haven't seen Rampage yet, but everyone who I know has seen it said, "Wow, that wasn't that bad." If I'm going into it, I think it's because everyone was going into it. Well, wow, this movie's gonna be horrible,
oh, this is
and they're
terrible.
like, "Oh, it wasn't horrible. It was all right." So
Are you hoping
mean,
that's the same case for?
I'm hoping it's the
for
same
Solo?
case for Solo. I'm hoping I'm going into it thinking it's gonna be garbage. I'm
I
gonna walk
still
out
have
of it
some
and be
hopes
like,
for
"Ah."
it.
Listen,
I still have some hopes.
Boba Fett has to show up as long as he's there.
Oh, he doesn't.
After
That's true. Well, the thing is that everybody's always saying that they're like, "Oh, Han Solo and Boba Fett, the ultimate like rivalry." They didn't know each other. When you watched Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, it wasn't like my old nemesis Boba Fett.
Yeah, right.
They made that up in the extended universe, which I loved, but they didn't really establish that. I think the worst part of the movie is going to be Han Solo. So I want to be surprised, but like Woody Harrelson looks like he'll be Woody Harrelson in space. Lando, yeah, epic. So, Donald Glover is going to be Donald Glover, who's just cool. He's cool all the time. He'll do Lando all right. Emilia Clarke is phenomenal, so she'll be a good love interest.
She's one of the ones that need the acting coach, though.
Space
that's what I'm a little
Dragon?
concerned
Was she
about.
really?
Yeah.
Oh no! And
See,
then
but just but just to clear that a little bit too, some of the insights on that was basically that the original directors were having trouble communicating to some of the actors exactly what they wanted because they, for the most part, were trying to make them wing everything. That was the root behind that. So they bring in these people who are acting coaches, but they're really more like acting translators.
Translators, yeah, okay.
Between the director and because the big thing was when those guys were filming with Alden Han, was that he was really trying to stick as close to the script and trying to do his thing and trying to be Han Solo. And they were like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if you just do this instead, just try this," because they're all about the comedy,
Which is like that's
they're
gonna
funny
kill
guys,
me too.
but-
Hopefully it's I know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not that like a giant slapstick comedy. We
It's-
don't need another
I
your mom
saw-
joke in the first couple of minutes of the movie.
I loved The Last Jedi, but I did not like you're breaking up, new phone, who dis? Like, no, don't do that. I did see in the one trailer, and it just hurt me. They did it real quick, but it made me almost puke real fast. Was when Han Solo goes, "I have a good feeling about this."
Oh yeah, that's the newest trailer. He's like, I have a good feeling about this.
No,
I haven't
has to be in the movie though.
The trailers besides the first teaser, so I'm kind of hoping
it does.
Makes me
What's
feel,
that?
I haven't watched any of the trailers besides the first teaser, so I'm hoping that makes me feel a little better.
Don't watch anymore. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I think the trailers there's parts of them that are way better.
Definitely way better.
Parts where I'm like,
ooh, still just as bad. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the good feeling about this, you know that if that would have been a surprise in the movie, it probably would have been great because it's probably right before a complete disaster happens.
I got into this I'm going to stop the broadcast right now. Say Ben.